In 1977, this apartment was supposed to be just another quiet home. Teresita was gone, but the room still felt disturbingly alive. Detectives arrived expecting a simple robbery, but the scene felt all wrong. He noticed burn marks, but almost no fire damage anywhere else. Somewhere else in the city, Allan walked these halls with a secret. At the hospital, Remy finished her shift, thinking it was just another night. That night, something impossible started following Remy home. Days passed. The case cooled until a strange phone call cut through the noise. Remy said a voice began speaking through her, and it claimed to be Teresita. Remy claimed the voice knew details that had never been made public. When detectives questioned her, she gave them something chilling. She named a suspect, someone the police had never even considered. A man named Allan, quiet, unnoticed until now. Remy described the killer's movements with impossible accuracy. She even repeated words he supposedly said, words uttered behind closed doors. And then she said something no detective expected to hear. Teresita wants justice. And she won't stop until you listen. Detectives began watching Allan, unsure whether to believe Remy or fear her. That night, the ghost spoke again, this time with a name the police couldn't ignore. The evidence was thin, but Remy's words kept echoing in every detective's mind. Allan acted normal, but something in his posture felt wrong. The case file hadn't been opened in months, until now. Detectives launched quiet surveillance, waiting for Allan to slip. Hidden away in the basement, Allan kept things he hoped no one would ever see. Remy repeated Teresita's message, every word delivered without fear. This was the room where it all happened, and where her voice grew strongest. Allan's late-night movements matched everything Remy had described. Piece by piece, the truth was beginning to form its ugly shape. The deeper detectives dug, the more Allan's world began to crack. Teresita's message grew clearer, sharper, impossible to ignore. If Allan kept trophies, this was the place they would find them. Inside were reminders of lives Allan should have never touched. Teresita wasn't haunting Remy anymore. She was following the case. Evidence from the storage unit matched the details Remy recited. Exactly. He stole my last breath, Allan's temper was no secret, but his past was. Everyone felt it. This case wasn't just strange, it was impossible. The Keksumatsu through Vitters, which detectives began connecting dots they didn't even know existed. But the story Teresita revealed wasn't fragmented. It was painfully clear. Allan was trying to hide his tracks, but every move echoed the ghost's warnings. Remy never asked for this burden, but she was now the ghost's only voice. An old technician confirmed the burn marks were deliberate. Someone tried to cover their tracks. Every clue pointed deeper into Allan's quiet, hidden life. And Allan began feeling watched, even when no one was there. The case wasn't just work anymore. It had become personal. Remy knew she had to speak again, even if the truth terrified her. This time, Teresita's message would be recorded, and no one could deny it. The recording changed everything. Suddenly, the case had momentum again. But Allan felt pressure closing in, like shadows were following him. Remy could barely sleep. The ghost wouldn't let her forget. Detectives retrieved items that hadn't been touched since Teresita died. And Allan began losing whatever calm he had left. Clues were lining up, yet the truth still felt unreal. The spirit pushed harder now, insisting the detectives move fast. Allan tried hiding something important, but he wasn't fast enough. Everything pointed back to one man, one motive, one brutal moment. But no matter where Allan went, the past stayed one step behind. The timeline finally formed a shape, one that sharpened the entire investigation. Detectives were ready to move, but they needed the truth locked inside that basement. But Allan was already running from the truth, one step ahead, but slipping. You need to go. You need to leave now. Every lead pushed detectives closer, and Allan closer to a corner. Inside, they found what Allan tried hardest to bury. Now, Allan wasn't just suspicious. He was scared. Detectives had enough to confront him, but something still felt unfinished. Teresita showed Remy her final memory, the moment everything broke. This time, Remy saw the truth, exactly as it happened. But the truth leaves footprints, even in the dark. Some voices refuse to stay silent, even after death. Allan thought isolation would protect him, but guilt always finds a way in. Piece by piece, the puzzle forced itself together. She wasn't haunting them, she was guiding them. There was nowhere left for the truth to run. Justice moves slowly, but it always moves. She guided him back to where everything began. No more shadows to hide in. Her story finally found justice, and she could rest at last. His confession matched every detail, including ones only Teresita could have known. For the first time, Allan saw the face he tried to forget. The case that once seemed impossible was now airtight. Every testimony pointed the same direction, even the one from beyond the grave. Teresita didn't want revenge. She wanted truth and peace. And Remy, once terrified, felt the weight finally lift. The case closed with a conviction, but the city would remember the ghost who solved her own murder. Teresita's story didn't end in silence. It ended in justice. And sometimes, the truth shines through the fog, no matter how hard someone tries to hide it.